things that was surprising from the results of the today for the Australian findings anyway, an 11% jump in trust in the media. Now that's quite a jump. Did that surprise you? 11% in trust in media.
When we first all sat down last week to look at these numbers, we were all surprised. It seemed counterintuitive to everything that we understand, given the sort of scrutiny the media's been under in the last 12 months in particular. But I guess that's the answer, is that there is now much more scrutiny of media by other media and by people out there using social media. And I think we're now seeing a sense of much greater confidence that mainstream media in particular is being held more accountable than ever before. 60%
of Australians don't believe government leaders to tell the truth. Now this is a pretty appalling figure. What can government do to address this decline?
Well, the lack of trust in government is a very serious issue. This one of the biggest findings from this Edelman Trust Barometer in Australia and worldwide. And governments have to address it, because at the end of the day, they are elected representatives of the people. We don't trust our own representatives. That is a problem. So governments have to do it. In all communication, it begins with listening. Governments have got to listen to the public, listen to what citizens are saying, and then respond to that and engage with the public before they'll be trusted again.
NGOs are trusted more than companies. So what can brands learn from NGOs when it comes to trust?
Consumers are wanting companies to stand for something beyond just making money. And obviously the obligation of business is to make money. That's what it's in business for. But I think consumers are expecting more now. They expect them to tackle some of the challenges that are facing society. They want them to address not only their environmental impact, but actually how do we protect the environment? So going beyond what is expected of them, going beyond what is legally required of them. A lot of companies think that they can hide behind their corporate affairs department or their PR people. They can't do that anymore with social media. You know, companies are exposed, and show that human face, and that means being admitting to flaws. There's this new trend coming out of America called flawsome.
Flawsome. Yes, I picked up on that. What does flawsome mean?
It's part of this being human. People want companies to be human. Like at the end of the day, they are made up of human beings. The company is literally just a bunch of people working for a common purpose. So they want them to show that human face, and that means their flaws, and it means admitting that they may not have the answers all the time.
Laurence, in terms of trust in a company, one of the key expectations of business is to listen to the customer's needs and then take action on that feedback. Now, this seems pretty basic to me, but the message doesn't seem to be getting through to big companies. Why is that?
You know, I've spent 20 years in business as an international general manager, and I'm astounded that listening to customers is so basic to business, and you'd think that they're doing it well, as you say. And I know, for example, that businesses run a lot of customer satisfaction studies. The problem is that satisfaction is not the same as trust and authenticity and credibility, and that comes to how you listen and not just whether you listen. So the part of how you listen is actually to be in the conversation. It's to allow your customers to co-create your content, allow them to see you vulnerable, allow them to comment on the good things and the bad things, and to take a much more transparent approach to how you engage with your customers, rather than still adopting the traditional top-down messaging, advertising-led approach.
Well, what are some of the things out of the findings for this year that have really jumped out at you?
I think one of the key things for me is this expectation gap that's now appeared between what the public is expecting business and government to do and how they perceive their performance on those factors. There's something like a 42% gap now across a whole range of those factors, and to me that's almost a lost opportunity, particularly for business and government in this country.